Hey everybody, good evening. Good evening. You know, I'm just feeling in a different mood tonight. I'm jumping over the intro. I'm feeling in a different mood. And I just want to get around to talking to you guys. It's the 22nd of December. It is Christmas week, and we're joining each other here at the old cafe, Studio A, where I am at the helm, and hopefully you guys are getting your phones warmed up, because I want you to call in tonight. I'm going to throw plenty of stuff your way, plenty of news your way, but I'm going to throw a lot at you, and the lines are going to be open, and I want you to call in. You know, I just figure it's going to be good. It's good this time of year, this week especially, just to hear people. Like, for example, on Christmas Eve at 11:45, God willing, I'll feel well enough. I don't know what the hell's going on with everybody. Just feel like there's, we're dodging viruses like it's the Matrix. I don't know what the hell's happening. I am holding my breath. Everything feels so weird. It's like I'm not thinking about I'm thinking, how do we get into January without catching any number of the things that everybody's apparently sneezing onto each other around here? Anyway, I want to just hear from you guys on Christmas Eve. I'll go live at 11:45 again, as it has become tradition, and just take rapid fire calls. Everybody just wish a Merry Christmas wish, next the call. Merry Christmas wish, next call. This will be the third year running I'm doing that, and I can't wait. It's usually like a 20-minute broadcast, and no, it really is. Really is. Not like a 20-minute pop-in that I did with the Christmas party, and I spent the whole party on air. It just has been, it doesn't work any other way other than that. So nice to be on air when the clock strikes 12 on Christmas Eve. But I want to extend that a little bit more and just hear from you guys, because, you know, there's probably so much on your mind, and it's definitely with me. Definitely with me. By the way, Anthony and my father put out their yearly Christmas collaboration, and it is different this year because it is an original song. It's called You Ruined Christmas. And the concept for it came together actually during a Sunday dinner get-together that usually ends up, it might have been during or right before we put a Hallmark movie on to rip. So that's where the concept came up, and it turned into something quite special. It's the first time they ever put out an original Christmas song. It's called You Ruined Christmas. So we're going to watch that together on the flip side tonight, which is going to be super short. Super short. We're just going to watch that. Tomorrow we'll play a lot more of our classics, and then I have to get off air a little bit earlier and get on out of here, because I have to do some grab bag shopping wherever the hell else is still open. And yes, poor Aurora. Aurora is, we can only assume, because her doctor came by today to take a look at her too, make sure everything's okay. And she has no infections and no nothing. All her glands are fine, and, feeling under the neck and all that stuff. But we're going tomorrow to the dentist because we think it's her six-year molars that are coming in early. And, she's complaining about how it's, so sore over there. I kind of felt in there I put a glove on. I kind of felt in there. I think I feel the teeth about to come through. So I think that's why she has the low grade 99 to 100.2 fever or whatever. But that started on Saturday night. No, late Friday night, early Saturday morning, right around the time that we wrapped up the watch party, the It's a Wonderful Life watch party, which was so amazing. So awesome. 2026 Film Club is going to be so great because we're watching the movies together now. And I think that I'm going to see what happens with my family. If we have a chilled out New Year's Eve night, I think I'm going to do a watch party on January 1st, sometime around 8:30. And I think we're going to do End of Days, because that's a kind of spooky Y2K, kind of a satanic cult thriller in New York City. You got Arnold Schwarzenegger as I think he's a cop. Him and Kevin Pollak are trying to it's almost like a Rosemary's Baby kind of a thing. Like a year 2000 Rosemary's Baby kind of a thing. It's really, really cool. And I haven't seen it in a long time, so I want to watch it. So maybe that'll be on New Year's night. I don't know. Or maybe we'll do something cheery, like As Good as It Gets. Either way, we're going to be able to watch a lot of movies now. And it's a lot more attractive because we all get together and actually watch it. So there you have it. But I hope that Aurora's okay, because, I mean, I know she is. But I don't think about anything else when I know that she's all just like, nah, and she doesn't want to eat for like 2 days. Got to force mashed potatoes on her and ice pops and all that stuff. I mean, I wouldn't want to if my mouth was sore and I had a low-grade fever. Last thing I want to do is eat when I got to, even off by 1 degree. Last thing I want to do is eat. Been calling up all my friends. Anybody who has kids, I've been calling up, hey, everything seem normal to you? Oh, yeah, that happens. Still doesn't make any sense. Well, who else can I call? Please. Anyway, that's what's been going on with me. So you can call in and give me some dental advice, some pediatric dental advice, even though we're going to be at the dentist tomorrow at 9. In the middle of the whatever kind of a snowstorm we're going to get. Get a dusting. Demon dust. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do on the flip side tonight. Really quick, we'll watch my dad and Anthony's latest Christmas collaboration, and that'll be that. For those of you who are just tuning in, please do me a favor. We only have 2 main shows this week. We've got tonight, we've got tomorrow, then it's Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve, I'm going to premiere the Saturday night special at around 9 o'clock. And so you have, that'll just be on. And then, or maybe I'll do it on Christmas. I don't know. One of those 2 nights it'll be premiered. And then on Friday, the 26th, I won't be on air, but I will go live for a late morning broadcast. We'll still do a coffee stream and that'll be nice. But so this is the last two broadcasts before Christmas, and let's make them good ones. So I want to get a lot of your calls on the come up with some opinions on all of the topics I'm going to throw at you, and leave comments in the chat room and leave a like wherever the hell you're watching them. Go for it. I also have a poll for those of you who are watching on YouTube in particular, and even if you're not watching on YouTube at 7 o'clock in particular, if you want to just come over for a second to vote in this poll, I would like to see what people think. Where the hell am I? Why is it not showing as live on YouTube? Okay, it's there now. Oh, there I am. Whatever. All right, so the poll, it's all about the TPUSA, AmericaFest. I don't watch those things. No interest in them. And I have a very little tiny understanding of all of the different things that popped up along with the controversies and all that. I saw the Charlie Kirk debate tent that was set up so people can take selfies in there. Some people are like, this is morbid, it's ghoulish, it's inappropriate. I don't know how it was billed. If it was billed as the death tent, then it's inappropriate, but I mean, but I don't know. If it was billed that way, then that's weird. But if it was just like, hey, stand under, this was, it's a very iconic debate tent. So I mean, I wouldn't have any problem with people going under there and stuff like that, but it is weird. I understand it. Still fresh. And now, that's the last thing everybody has in their mind. So I get that. But other than that's just like a little bit of a temperature tonal kind of a controversy. Everything else is just about who at this festival hates the other person. What does Ben Shapiro think about Tucker Carlson? What does Tucker Carlson think about, and who sounds more reasonable? Ben Shapiro. A couple of days after he defends Mr. Potter. No, I don't know. I don't know how anybody listens to him anymore. But that was going on. Then there's the Erika Kirk and Nicki Minaj thing, which we'll play a little clip of that. It's the only thing I saw about it. I don't know. That's just some people's thing. I can't. I would never be invited to one of those things. I would never seek admission, but I would also not be invited. And I don't think I would go anyway. It's just, I would rather be home. But let's see what you guys think in the chat room, because the chat room topic is, what are your thoughts on Nicki Minaj at AMFEST, essentially professing her love for Donald Trump, and is now like the latest MAGA super friend. And I said, is it total clown show? Do you just not like her, but everything at this point helps as far as shifting the culture or waking people up? Or good for her, welcome aboard? Well, right now we have 52% that said total clown show, 14% says I don't like her, but everything helps, and 34% good for her, welcome aboard. Come on, I want to hear from you guys. Jump on in and let me know. I want to hear from you, from everybody. And don't be a lurker. Show up to at least comment and leave a like wherever you're watching. Okay, so that's just some on top of some other thoughts. Oh, another thing. My friend over here, this black Santa who's in a wheelchair, he's the last. Well, no, I have mine. But this is the last of the black wheelchair Santas. And he is being given away tomorrow. Remember tonight, everybody, 1 ounce of silver is going to be traveling to you if you win this raffle, along with black wheelchair Santa. And now I'm throwing in, and tonight I'm going to throw something else in too. Now, tonight I'm going to be throwing in a full bag of Signals. That's the animal-based meal replacement shakes. They're fantastic. It's like $90 a bag. And I put those into my protein shakes to enhance them there, to make sure that they're just more filling, and it's all animal-based. You're going to get a full bag of Dulce sweetener. So this alone, between the black wheelchair Santa and the silver, which is now about to hit $70. All right, last week we said it's a $60 ounce. It's $70 now. I'm also going to give you a copy of Chris Ann Hall's DVD, Non-Compliant, and a copy of my 2017 album with my band, Set the Charge, Sky Goes On. And tomorrow, Who Else Knows goes in there. How do you get a part of it? Just throw in a super chat. Quite frankly, superchat.com, or the YouTube, the Rumble, the Gold Pills. Load it up. Load it up. I count your name as many times as you put it in there, like any raffle does now. And let me tell you, that doesn't always help you, because there are some people on Pilled who really, sog it up, and none of them have won yet. So you got to be in it to win it, and it all goes to supporting the show and having a decent head start in 2026. So thank you. All right. Okay, what else? What do you guys think about The Odyssey? The Odyssey, man, Christopher Nolan is doing it, and I am excited. I was talking with Sal today, and it came up with Sal and Anthony and Mike and Koss and whoever the hell else is in that particular group chat. And Sal was the one that brought our attention to it and said, I have never been so hyped up for a movie in a long time. And I'm hyped too. This comes out, The Odyssey. Matt Damon is Odysseus, but it's Christopher Nolan. And that guy can really do no wrong, at least to me. In my opinion, I can't wait for this. I'm going to be at Alamo on opening night. Have myself a nice crispy chicken sandwich and a milkshake. I don't care what time of night it is, because it's a Christopher Nolan epic that is covering The Odyssey, which means it has to be at least 3 hours long, which means that I'll have about 5 hours between eating the chicken sandwich and going to bed. So I shouldn't have bad dreams or any kind of a horrible attack, or I'm pacing the floor. So that's what's going on. You got to check. Maybe we'll watch the trailer together during our Friday, either tomorrow's flip side or on Friday when we're having coffee together. It looked great. I can't wait to see how they do the sirens. I can't wait to see Polyphemus, because I think I saw the Cyclops kind of crawling out of a cave or something like that. Timothy Alberino's going to love it. So I think Calypso's in there, Circe. The sirens are going to be great. I just made a reference to the sirens and putting wax in the ears. from the Odyssey. What was it last week? I made a Siren song reference. I didn't even know that Christopher Nolan had this up his sleeve. Somebody did, I'm sure. Well, it's either that you're excited about something that you might be able to watch in the theater next summer, or is it that you're excited about Donald Trump's moon landing? That's right. We have committed to a moon landing by 2028, followed by a lunar outpost 2 years later. They want to put nuclear power reactors on the moon. Okay? This is in conjunction with the announcing of a golden fleet of battleships, new 21st century battleships that are being built. I saw that announcement today. We've got battleships. We've got a moon landing coming in 2028, and we're going to make the moon nuclear. Right? Nothing you can do about it either. The moon is going nuclear. Okay? So that's a couple hours after a judge formally swore in private astronaut Jared Isaacman as the next administrator of NASA. President Donald Trump signed an executive order outlining his space policy objectives for the next 3 years. Executive order titled Ensuring American Space Superiority states that the country must, quote, pursue a space policy that will extend the reach of human discovery, secure the nation's vital economic and security interests, unleash commercial development, and lay the foundation for a new space age. Okay? So there's a 2028 lunar landing, a lunar outpost. Okay. The use of outpost could mean surface activities or lunar gateway in orbit around the moon and seems deliberately ambiguous. Nuclear reactors on the moon. A private launch. Let's see here. Wait. Enhanced sustainability, a cost effectiveness of launch, exploration architecture, including enabling commercial launch services and prioritizing lunar exploration. Okay. The end of the ISS. I guess they had enough of faking all the videos coming out of the ISS. Let's see here. So they want to be able to replace the ISS by 2030. They say, it's so much easier to fake the surface of the moon. We were doing that back in the 60s. Let's just do this. And then focus on leaner procurement. What does that mean? Use of existing authorities to improve efficiency and expedite space acquisitions, including a first preference for commercial solutions and general preference for other transactions authority or Space Act agreements, customary commercial items. I don't know what the fuck that means. And then end the National Space Council. Well, there's that. Okay? So that's a little bit of out of this world news from this weekend. Now, of course, a little bit more of local news. News that is even 5 years old. You can call it validation. You can call it vindication. Although there's going to have to be consequences for there to be vindication or restitution. And some people need restitution more than others with this one. Here it is, the Federalist. This is from Fulton County, Georgia, everybody. This was probably the biggest news story over the weekend. Fulton County, we don't dispute 315,000 votes lacking poll workers' signatures were counted in 2020. Earlier this month, Fulton County admitted that approximately 315,000 early votes from the 2020 election were illegally certified, but were nonetheless still included in the final results of that election. The admission came during a December 9th hearing before the Georgia State Election Board, stemming from a challenge filed by David Cross, a local election integrity activist. Cross filed a challenge with the SEB in March of 2022. Cross alleged that Fulton County violated Georgia election rules in the handling of advanced voting ahead of the November 2020 election, counting hundreds of thousands of votes even though poll workers failed to sign off on the vote tabulation tapes critical to the certification process. And Fulton County admitted to it. Ann Brumbaugh, attorney for the Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections, told the SEB in a hearing that while she has, quote, not seen the tapes herself, the county does, quote, not dispute that the tapes were not signed. Brumbaugh concluded, quote, it was a violation of the rule. We, since 2020 again, have had new leadership and a new building and a new board and a new standard operating procedures. And since then, the training has been enhanced, but we don't dispute the allegations from the 2020 election, end quote. Georgia Secretary of State office investigated the alleged failure to sign tabulation tapes and substantiated the findings, which is huge because it has a lot to do with chain of custody. Georgia election rules require that election officials have each ballot scanner print 3 closing tapes at the end of each voting day. Poll workers must sign these tapes or include a document reason for refusal. Voting rules also require poll workers to begin each day voting by printing and signing a 0 tape showing that voting machines are starting at 0 votes. If there's no record of whether the tabulator was set at 0 at the start of the polling, there's no way of telling whether the ballots from previous election or ballots from a test run were left on the memory card and might later be counted. Notably, this happened in Montana, where officials discovered more votes than were cast and believe the votes were leftover samples data that had not been cleared. Also makes you wonder about all of the goofy little characters out there in Georgia who were, not even shown on tape doing what seems to be taking the same stack of votes and running them through multiple times, but also prior to Election Day in 2020, took to Facebook to kind of, show their little Tony Soprano bullshit operation. Listen, there's so much shit here. Look, they say Cross also highlighted additional irregularities. We're talking 315,000 votes in an election that everybody is being very careful of pointing out was only won by 11,000 votes. These are not clerical errors. These are catastrophic breaks in chain of custody and certification. Because there's no tape that was ever legally certified, Fulton County had no lawful authority to certify its advanced voting results for the Secretary of State, yet it did. And of course, the Secretary of State is that Raffensperger guy who, between him and the governor, they became, at that point, bait. All those conversations they had with Donald Trump, who said something like, find me the votes and whatever the hell else. Of course, Georgia in lockstep with the media, trying to spin that as Donald Trump is trying to strong arm us into finding 11,000 extra votes to make sure he wins, when it's more so along the line of, this is happening. We're talking hundreds of thousands. This is happening. And then we have the Ruby Freeman and her daughter, getting their palms greased, and Rudy Giuliani. I asked myself the question. I said, oh boy, I wonder if Rudy still is going to get any of that money back he was ordered to pay. He was ordered to pay like $150 million in damages to Ruby Freeman. And I went and I pulled up the Politico because I wanted to see just how that all worked out. Oh, I found a Politico article. I wanted to see how that all worked out. Like, how does Rudy Giuliani, who did well for himself in his life, but where the hell was he ever going to get $150 million? So this was published in January of 2025, actually. Rudy reached a deal earlier this year, at the beginning of this year, with 2 Georgia women who won a $148 million defamation verdict against him that allows him to keep all of his property in exchange for a payment of unknown size, plus a promise never to defame them. Again, insert any character that has the wagon circled around them so protectively for unknown reasons, whether it be the January 6th freak or these two. You could just say that they're black Democrat women, and therefore that would be juiced for anything that it can to protect them at all costs. All they're trying to do is be part of the process and all that stuff. It's not about defamation. It's about, you forgot to turn off the cameras at the arena that night. You filmed yourself on Facebook And now here's Rudy Giuliani. I don't know what the hell he had to pay them, but I wonder how this all works out. I mean, I hope he sues them. I hope he sues everybody. General Michael Flynn even got in on all this stuff. I didn't even know that he got caught up in all this. He commented somewhere along the line, the subpoena and the threat to indict me for no involvement whatsoever in Georgia cost me north of $300,000, along with many additional negative media attacks against my family. And again, all because of TDS. The left are thugs and communists. They won't stop until they are held accountable. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I mean, I don't. Where does that all go? You guys let me know. I'm certainly not holding back. Me personally, I've long since been in a place mentally where, noted. I hear something that adds another piece to the puzzle or a little bit more validation for something we talked about years ago. It's just like, interesting. Noted. Okay, I'll try to remember that one next time I get into a debate or a conversation I can't weasel my way out of easily enough. I'll try to remember it for reference next time to when I'm talking to somebody who doesn't give a shit about the details anyway. What I would just love to do is just get a little bit more of what's mine. And I would love for you guys to get a little bit more of what's yours.
Dad Black Santa. Merry Christmas Franklies. Christmas tree emoji. Purple heart emoji.
Well, thank you so much. He wants that Black Santa, and you deserve it. So does everybody else, Magavelli. Thank you so much. All right, I left the speech supers on. That's for Quite Frankly Superchat.com. If you leave a super chat of $10 or more, it scares me whenever it pops up. So that's really all. That's where it comes down to for me. I just want more of what's mine. That's all I care about anymore. I mean, what the hell? What the hell is it? What this disclosure actually going to give us?
I want the African American physically challenged Santa. Merry Christmas, Frank and Franklies.
You'll get, well, Jay Brits, if luck is on your side, you will get the African American physically challenged Santa. He knows that he's going to get a very good home wherever he goes. He's been waiting in a box for an entire year for a chance. His disabled white friend has already found himself a nice home somewhere as well. I wonder where his Caucasian vanilla friend is. But yeah, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh yeah, about me being able to administer justice. My enthusiasm will be great. Like you know what I just saw like today? I think it was today or yesterday. I don't know. Benjamin Netanyahu announcing that there's going to be a formal October 7th inquiry, an investigation. I don't know if that's just standard operating procedure or it's in response to so many people. I have to imagine there's plenty of Jews in Israel who would like to know what the hell was that all about and how did this even happen? Because there's plenty of people over here who just don't understand the whole thing and how it was allowed to happen with the security measures that are already in place. But either way, he said something along the lines of, we are going to launch an investigation into the October 7th terrorist attacks in Israel. And it's going to be fashioned much like how the United States did the 9/11 report, the 9/11 investigation. I said, oh, the omission report? Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. Then it really is like 9/11 then, I guess. I guess it really...
Great Monday night, Frank and Franklies.
Thank you, Stowe Soup. I love you. Love you and the whole family. I think it's I think it's hilarious. So I mean, there are plenty of people out there in Israel who are reading that right now and are saying to themselves, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to lower my expectations about the truth as well. I'm just going to have to lower them." And then in me, like today, I saw this video, and I hate when it happens when I just open up one app or another just in time to see something terrible happening to somebody who had the nerve to leave home that day and just, I don't know, walk down the street of a big city or go into a department store or something else, especially if they're encountering some angry minority. That happens a lot. And it doesn't even have to be like a violent encounter. It's just an unpleasantness every day. every day. And whereas I don't take, like, let's say it's an angry black lady who just obviously hates white people or anybody else, whatever, wherever the hate is being pointed. I look at that and I say, whether I am in the category of the person that this particular angry man or woman is directing all of their ire, if I'm in the category of that person, am I being hated on sight just because of the color of my skin, or whatever it is, or if I see somebody else that is hating on somebody else, a category that I'm not a part of, all I see is this. I see the right and the need to let everybody opt out of this big fucking scam. That's what I think about going into 2026. I'm looking at this, I'm saying how we all deserve, because this is not constitutional, it's not American, it is a big fucking scam. It's a anti-human, new age slave scam. Nobody really escapes this plantation, but on the plantation, people are given the illusion of whether or not they're an oppressor or whether or not they are a victim. And then from there, you get certain mantras and certain things you can say, and the other person has restrictions and they just need to work harder to make up for some kind of an injustice they had nothing to do with. It's all slavery. And I look at that and I say, we just deserve to opt out. It's all I'm saying. I don't care, justice for 9/11, justice for Benghazi, justice for Fast and Furious, justice for Solyndra, whatever the hell it is. I don't even give a shit. I can't do anything about that. Noted. I'll keep it in the back of my thoughts there. All I care about is opting out. Based on nothing then, knowing that there are so many people out there who hate each other on sight. And that was made that way by this system, by people who sponsor the system that we have found ourselves in. Not the system that was given to us by the founding generation, but this slave system we find ourselves in now. Okay? I just want to opt out of that. I simply don't want a solitary penny of what I earn to reach anyone that I don't directly, voluntarily, and personally support. That's it. That's it. That's what I wish for you guys too. That would make life so much better. Especially because all those people who just like hate for a living, they would start to slowly have to get off their asses and go out there and find a way to go and buy their Hot Pockets without my 25 cents. Find another way to buy your fucking Hot Pockets in 2026. I don't want to feel like this during Advent. I don't want to feel like this. But I got like a pit in my stomach, and it's partly because I just want Aurora to be enjoying herself. And I know she kind of feels blah right now, but it's just exacerbating everything else. Anyway, that was that. And then we got and you want another one noted. The Epstein. I didn't even know that we were getting more Epstein releases. I didn't know we were getting more releases over the weekend, but that became just another joke. That became a whole other joke right there. And I don't know. Jeffrey Epstein, who will soon be, he already has become a punchline, but soon is going to be a punchline for jokes that underscore how weak we are. I think that this guy was connected as connected as a person can get. And we couldn't even organize an effective tax revolt to starve the system that was directing him and supporting him in many ways. Was it a full system? No. I'm not saying that every federal worker out there was part of it, was in on this and stuff like that. But, it's just nuts. So more of this stuff comes out. And I know that, the New York Times, they essentially buried the lead on God knows what paragraph on what page that from this new trove of evidence, there was nothing there implicating Donald Trump and Mr. Epstein and all that stuff. I know they're going to bury that lead because that's as shallow as this gets for most people. But outside of that, there's really nothing else. There's really nothing else. There's just pictures and a lot of redactions. Here, look. This is a real document from the released Epstein files from a account called War Monitor. Like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? I mean, what is this? Like I'm saying, just give me the opt-out. I know enough about how the world works. I know enough about how the world works to make me sick, to not need all the details. You know? So let me just go with that. I'll continue reading and it'll be a self-edification kind of a thing, but I just want to opt out of shit. That's all. So what do you think about that stuff? You can call 914-200-0269. I want to hear from you, damn it. It's 7:35 and we got some time together, and I'm going to throw you some Christmas stuff here too, because I have some head scratching things going on with my family right now in the lead up to Christmas and what everybody's doing on Christmas Day. And I want to ask you about your travel plans and how this is all going to shake out for you and your family. Who's hosting? Who's hosting what meal on what day? Who's hosting what course of which meal on what day? Because right now, my family, for some reason, it's almost like the second course is going to be in this house and the first course is going to be in this house, and everybody is going to be traveling together. It's the same. I'm going to tell you all about it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Let's take a call from John. John, how the hell you feeling tonight? Tell me good.
You know, I'm doing a heck of a lot better now that I'm talking to Frank.
Oh, good to have you. Good to have you, and good to hear that. So what's on your mind?
Well, I'm a bit shocked that my call was picked up, but I got to double down on your point about opting out, man. I'm with you 1,000%.
Would it not just make, I'll put it to you this way. We have been essentially groomed. No, maybe not groomed, but it has been nurtured into us. Even those of us who are the most discerning and ask the most questions, we have essentially, I think to one degree or another, accepted that the righteous and judicious outcomes that need to be doled out of every scam, out of every illegal war, every humanitarian crisis that we see being orchestrated, the punishments that need to be given out and the things that would actually set the world right, that we have absolutely no shot at forcing anybody's hand in doing that. So if that is the reality we have to work with, then wouldn't it just make things light years better to be able to just really focus on living your own life with your own money in your community and really blocking the world out? But I guess the problem there is that if we have our own independence, if we have our own money, then they can't continue on with what they're doing. And that's the issue. So there can be no opt out. So there can only be people. That's why people say there can only be pushed through and go to war. But how the hell do we actually do that?
I could settle on a compromise. Specifically in terms of taxation, I could foresee something where we had a line item of each, say, department or service, and you go down and you check those boxes like, you know what, I'm willing to fund the Department of Education this year. Although I think they did away with it, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Go down and say, hey, these guys are killing it. They're doing a great job. Let's give them some more of our money. You see the line items where they're really blowing it. Say, no, we're going to defund these guys. I mean, that's about as far as I'd want to willfully go in terms of compromise. Otherwise, I heard someone once refer to it as a Gordian knot, which is essentially a knot that is so complicated and just impossible to untie. There's kind of one way to deal with it, Frank, and that's to take out the sword and chop it in half.
I know, to cut it. I'm with you. That would be great if we all got line item vetoes on everything. I would send a couple $100 a year to the post office because I use the post office a lot. But other than that, I think everybody can soundly go take a long walk off a short pier. Thank you for the call, John, and Merry Christmas to you.
Hey, man, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Frank, I've been enjoying your show since, near the beginning of Well, anyways, when you first started getting on there with Tracy, man, it's been a long time. It's been a great ride, and you bring a lot of, well, much needed sanity to a crazy world, dude. So keep up the good work.
Well, I can't. I'm taking you with me into 2026. So we got a lot more fun to have, my friend. And thank you for that. And I hope you have nothing but a happy and healthy holiday season, please.
Right back at you, brother.
Okay.
Be well.
Take care. Be well. All right. Let's see here. Oh boy.
Text to talk, baby. It's on. LMFAO. And a Merry Merry Christmas to you, Frank, and all the Franklies. Enjoy the wonderful holiday. I am gay. Gay-IY.
You're gay. Wow. Well, it's those two, but that really thank you so much for that. That was a very wonderful gift. Thank you so much. And that's just
Merry Christmas, Frank.
Here's from Car Guys New England. Thank you, my friend, once again. Oh man. Well, this is what Christmas is all about. Bringing people together. Let's see. Caller, you're on the air. Give me something to work with here.
Sure. Hey, Frank, this is Cloud9 once again.
Good to hear you.
I was actually just going to call in because I was going to discuss some of the most overrated Christmas movies and some of the most overrated Christmas music, per my opinion, which I believe is the most optimal opinion to have. So, not to go through like an entire list, but I'll just shoot from the hip. For movies, Elf and A Christmas Story, and then the original 1964 claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from movies. So I'll just stop right there if you want to chime in.
Those are the overrated?
Overrated.
Okay. I know quite a few people who hate Elf. On the flip side, Elf is one of Lauren's happy places film-wise, so she loves it. I don't have a problem with it. I like, you know what it is about Elf? I like James Caan's job. I am a sucker for stories that have to do with people who live in New York City and make a good living writing books or publishing. I like publishing jobs in New York City backgrounds. I don't know what the hell it is. So that's kind of nice, but you know, it's whatever. I'll watch it. Aurora likes it. Let's see here. The original the original Rudolph, Burl Ives, and I don't know, man. There are things about that. I think that is the one that makes me feel best out of all the claymation movies. I was talking to my parents about this on the Saturday night special, which we will rerun on either Christmas Eve or Christmas night. And I was talking to them about what their favorite claymation stop motion animation films were, because, you know, of course, them being boomers, they were kids when all of these things were coming out for the first time. And the thing is with all those stop motion animation films for Christmas is that there's a lot of them that most of them make me feel weird. And Rudolph was always the one that I felt like was the easiest to digest and made me feel like happy. I didn't like when he was getting picked on or anything like that. But other than that, there's a lot more stop motion animation ones out there that that just make me feel like odd and kind of down. But that one I disagree with you on. The third one was what?
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story. I'm totally against you on that one. In fact,
Okay.
That's just one of those movies that has pulled me in since I was, just a couple of years old. And I love it. I love it more and more as I grow older, now that I get to show Aurora. And I'll tell you something else. We can get into aspects of the movie if you like, but I don't. What about it do you think is just overrated? Let me just ask you that.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair to you, I will say that if you're watching it for the first time in the 1980s or 1990s, whenever it is that you first saw it, I can understand why you would have, this kind of awe and shock to it. Because obviously today, it gets spread through word of mouth. It's like, oh my God, you got to go watch this Christmas movie. It's the best Christmas movie ever made. And that was my experience, because I had heard so many people tell me it's better than Christmas Vacation. It's better than Home Alone. It's better than It's a Wonderful Life. You need to sit down and watch A Christmas Story. So, I'm sitting down and I'm watching. And for me, it just seems like a series of classic scenes mushed together to make the film. And truth be told, I do think that the lampshade scene with the leg, for all intents and purposes, it's a huge joke, but for me, it's not as funny as the gag, with the Christmas tree, with the squirrel in Christmas Vacation, and then the pink bunny suit's just kind of a throwaway joke for me, and then the whole running gag of "you'll shoot your eye out" it's just overplayed for me. But those are some like tiny little aspects that I would point out.
Okay.
How about you?
Okay. Well, all right. Well, is there anything you'd like to conclude this call with before I talk about that on the other side of hanging up?
Yeah, go for it.
No. I'm asking. I don't want to. I'm letting you sign off however the hell you want, and then I'll just talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, anyways, just to sum everything up, I know I said music earlier, so I'll just go and say the most overrated Christmas song of all time, since I know you're trying to move on. Santa Baby, I think that song is just completely overplayed.
It is.
Yeah, I don't really care for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I get you, and thank you, Cloud9. Santa Baby, it's got to be. I mean, everybody has to cover it, and they have to do it. How can I get it? I'm going to be sex. It's my sexy voice. It's my time to be sexy. Santa Baby, if you're going to listen to it once a year, just let it be Eartha Kitt, and then that's it. It is too much. Okay? It's too much. Maybe it was just enough back then when, feminism was still very fresh and everybody thought it, but now it's because like every time you leave the house, you're just like hit with everything is Santa Baby. Everybody's just, I don't know. Everything is always just a big fucking strutting around. Holy shit. I don't know. I'm with you on that one. Mariah Carey, you want to know something? I know some people are thinking about the Mariah Carey song. It is December 22nd. I have only heard it once. Okay? Maybe twice, and it was within the same 20 minutes, because if you go down to New York City, when we were down at Radio City Music Hall, right before, I think it was like that last weekend in November, right after Thanksgiving, everybody that is in all of the bike pedaled taxis, like, you get into the back of the carriage and the driver is bike pedaling you around. They're bobbing and weaving between all of the cars. Well, around late November, early December is when all of them start putting garland and all types of Christmas lights all over their cabs and stuff like that. And all of the bike peddlers will start dressing like Santa Claus, and they'll put some kind of a speaker on there too. They're all playing Christmas music. And that was the only time I heard Mariah Carey all season. You know why there too? Because mostly the only Christmas music, the only Christmas playlist that I've been listening to has been the official Quite Frankly music playlist for Christmas. And I put a lot of great stuff in there. It lasts a couple of hours. Great stuff. From even just like, chilled out jazz songs and all that stuff, and then all of the classic ones, and you have but I left her out of it. I don't want to listen to it, and that's far more played out than Eartha Kitt. But I don't know how I actually, even incidentally, I don't know how I dodged it as much as I did. I'm sure now I'm going to hear it at some point over the next 2 days. And okay, another one I haven't heard, which I really don't like, is Paul McCartney's song, "Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time." That was Paul. If I can ask him one question, say, "Sir Paul, tell me about simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Was it just one of those things where you were like, well, I haven't written a Christmas song yet"? And it just, you wanted to check that box. Was it like a market thing? Like you thought like there was a need for a Paul McCartney Christmas song? Did you want to have something to compete with John? What was it? We didn't need this. Because, we didn't need this. So I'm wondering what was driving you to do this to us? I get some kind of an answer like that. That would be the answer I got. So I don't know. It's been pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Somebody said he was being sarcastic. He was being sarcastic. Okay, maybe. Well, then I'll take that. I'll take that. If Paul, I haven't seen any questions asked to Paul McCartney on that. If he actually answered that question and said that was all about being sarcastic and glib or whatever the hell it is, whatever it is, if it's just not taking itself seriously, then I actually have a little bit more respect for it. The original, so TJ Martino says the original Paul would have never made that song. You're right. The original Paul. Only Billy Shears would have made that song. Only Billy. Oh man. What was the other thing? Oh, A Christmas Story. You can't compare. The lines are open, by the way. Would love to have you guys call in. This is what I was hoping it was going to go. I was hoping it was going to go all over the place and just like chill out.
I'll say it again. Nothing is worse than that Paul McCartney Christmas song.
There you go. Car Guys New England knows what he's talking about. He knows. He knows. You can't compare A Christmas Story to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's like apples and oranges. It's not apples and lamb chops. It's apples and oranges. Okay? They're fruit. They can both be included in a Christmas basket. But I don't they're not that kinds of comedy. There's something about A Christmas Story that's a lot more subdued. It's reaching into your life and finding things that were like that. Thinking about Christmases growing up or any kind of season growing up, the way that your relationships were with your brother, the way that your parents were when they were still young and vital and working and providing and maybe doing things, going above and beyond and making Christmases memorable in ways that looked easy but were probably really hard to do. Foibles of a father who's contending with, parts of the house that's breaking down and trying to keep things together. I mean, there's a lot of generational stuff there too. When you think about what generations of parents we're talking about, which essentially would have been my grandparents or great grandparents, and then you have I don't know, the leg lamp. The leg lamp has nothing to do. That's what I'm saying. Comparing the leg lamp and all of that to the squirrel in the tree, they're two different types of we're talking about a slapstick comedy. National Lampoon's a very physical comedy to something that's a little bit more subdued family story, a story about growing up. There's definitely a coming of age, not so much, I don't know, maybe. There's a lot there. I wouldn't watch Christmas Story to have your socks knocked off from laughter, though. That's not what you put it on for. It's just about being a family and just dealing, and everybody also has their little personal side quest there too. If you're Ralphie, you are just fine focused on that one thing that you wanted, and when you get it, something goes wrong. If you are the father, you had a little victory for yourself. A little victory for yourself that shows up and your wife doesn't like it and she sabotages it. And that's just stuff. That's just when he screams, "Not a finger." That makes me laugh. That makes me laugh. Like saying something you want to say something so, I don't know. And that's all that dribbles out. So it's something else. You can't compare those two. But if you think it's overrated, I mean, it is played a lot. Sometimes you can just see something so much and you're just like, enough already. I can't. River. Oh, I'm sorry. They hung up. Let's see here. ST says, my favorite response to long-winded emails and texts is noted. Prayers for Aurora. Full healing ASAP and before Christmas. Found a solution for double dippers. Spinach artichoke dip app in wonton wrappers. Gotta do what you have to do. Oh yeah. Well, double dipping is amazing when it's just you and the dip and nobody else. And guys, here's a chat room poll. Don't you go anywhere. These are the real conversations. What do you want to talk about? We'll play Nicki Minaj in a second. Maybe a little bit later on. Who the hell wants to get off track right now? Dipping. If you're sitting down, what would you rather have? A bowl of chips and the dip right there, or the dip inside of a bread bowl that you can rip the crust off of the bread bowl and just go right in okay, forget about the communal aspect. Let's say it's just a personalized bread bowl. First of all, bread bowls, I think, are just incredibly amazing. It's been so long since I've had a bread bowl of chili. When was the last time you had a bread bowl where either you put you got a soup in there or something like that, like a chowder, like a clam chowder inside of a nice sourdough bread bowl, or a sourdough bread bowl with some beef chili in there? It is awesome. You get to eat through all that stuff and utilize the bread, and then you're left with even more bread at the end. Oh man, I wish I ate that for dinner tonight. Mouth is watering, getting all hungry and shit. ST says, give me the bread bowl. Bread bowl of baked brie, says Dusty Blue. I'm reading the chat room right now. Bread bowl, says Wichita. Jeannie over on Twitch. Sounds great. Sourdough bread bowl with clam chowder is the best, says Rocky Royale. Never had a bread bowl, says Gypsy Muse. Well, guess what? 2026 is starting in 2 weeks. Less than that. 9 days. Bread bowl of beef, potatoes, and peas. Bread bowl chili, now we're talking. I love sourdough, says Shane B. Chili rocks. Get cornbread if possible. Oh, man. Oh, man. I haven't had a lot. Oh. Vista says lobster bisque. Who's selling them sourdough bowls? The last time I had a sourdough bowl was at this place called Atlanta Bread Company. Are they still? Atlanta Bread Company? Let me see here. Atlanta Bread Company. Oh, yes. Here it is. Do they have, well, here, let me see. Sandwiches, classic, paninis. Do they still have the bread bowl? Super medium. Fill up. Our bowls are made with fresh seasoned produce. No. Come on. Maybe it's not. Beef chili, clam chowder, soups. Oh, here we go. Our soups are packed full of flavor. Blah, blah, blah. Is it in the bread, though? Come on. Breakfast? No, I don't know. Either way, anywhere you can find a bread bowl, try it. If you can make it yourself, do it. If you know anybody right now that's on a sourdough, it could be any kind of dough you want. But if you know anybody that's baking their own bread, like my sister-in-law, she makes incredible circle loaves. Maybe I should get something that's just big enough to make a bowl out of it. Hollow that thing, and whatever you hollow it out, you have the first heel that you can actually use for dipping. Good stuff. 207, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Is this Quite Frankly?
Yes, this is the Bread Bowl show.
Oh, excellent, excellent. I just want to thank you so much for how much work you've done. I've been listening to you for so long, Frank.
Thank you. Who's this? What's your name?
I'm just going to go by Robert, if that's okay.
That's totally fine, Robert. It's great to meet you. How long have you been watching?
Oh, let me just think. 6 years now, 7 years.
Boy, we've been through a lot.
Long time.
We've been through a lot, Rob.
Oh man, that just made me look up at the ceiling to think about all the stuff we've been through. Oh my God. Hey, you know, I just want to thank you again for doing everything, Frank. It's been such a long journey, and I just want to, you know, we can get such black-pilled in moments like this with all the civil war going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's the easiest place to go, and it's the hardest thing to do to find to kind of tiptoe through that minefield and not lose parts of you that you can never put back on. And that's why just try to take things little bites at a time. Try to keep the most important things up front, and I think when you do that, it's easier to pick through the shit from time to time. I try not to do too much shit picking these days because you can drown in that real quick.
Excellent. I'd like to make 2 statements if I can.
Please.
One about the political level, and one esoteric if I can. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Of course, I trust Israel to stop Iran from nuking Israel. You know, you got to trust them. But I also believe that Israel does false flags sometimes. So that's the political level statement.
Okay.
What do you think of that, Frank?
Well, I think false flags is a brush that many nations have painted many a story with. So yeah, they are definitely in the false flag business, but so are we, and many times we probably collaborate, and no doubt about it. But I heard about that there was yet another, or there are renewed attempts to stop Iran from doing one thing or another, and because of course I guess the last bombing only pushed things off a couple of months. Now we have to do it again, right? But apparently Trump, and hopefully this holds up, is resisting any request to get pulled into that quagmire. Are
you familiar with the Greater Israel Project?
Yeah.
Or are you familiar with that term?
Yeah. We've talked about it quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And that's so.
What's the?
Frank, I come in like an absolute idiot standing before you, and I know that it's hard to talk up to you.
No,
you know what I mean?
You're not. There's no up and listen. There's no up and down. We're all watching the same stuff. We're talking. It's good you're here. Real quick.
But you have seen so many things and you've dealt with so much stuff. And I just want to thank. I can't tell you how humble I am. But real quick, the last thing is esoteric level thing, like a Joe Rogan fun thing is. What do you think? We have 5 senses. We have this other thing that could be the 6th sense. Could the 3rd eye be a gravity eye? Could we actually, as humans, sometimes be able to see gravity? What do you think about that? I know that's just totally off base.
Well, Rob, thank you for the call. Let me try to pick this through this one. Gravity eye. I don't know. I guess it depends on how horny you are. I guess so. I guess you can see gravity if you're horny enough. So that's what I can say. That's all I'll say. I just don't know. And listen, I'm glad that you liked the show, and I know if you're watching somebody as long as you have, you get on it, wow, but there's no talking up to and below. I know you've seen so much. I was like, what? I've been in my studio I've been here. Where have I gone? Like Indiana Jones or something like that. I've got my satchel and my whip. I've just been here. We're seeing all the same things together. It's a nightly conversation. Anyway, thank you for the call, and I hope it's the first of many. But we're on the level. All right, let me see here. Let's take a call. This is Sentinel. Go ahead.
Good evening, Frank. Great topics tonight.
Thank you. What's on your mind?
Well, I first wanted to talk about A Christmas Story, if I might.
Sure.
So I recently did some research because we do start our holiday season out rewatching it. And we kind of wondered about the origin of it. And I did some internet background look. And they made it in the early 80s. And it came out in theaters and did a flop. And then Turner Broadcasting bought the rights for it. And they started playing it every Thanksgiving while I was still in high school. And the first few years I was, just for the next 10 years, it seemed like every Thanksgiving had A Christmas Story on it. And the interesting thing about the background is the author was an old AM radio guy. And he was writing about experiences in his life, and he was telling it like a radio host would talk about something nostalgic. He would set a scene, and then the scene would play out, and then he would transition. And so the way he did the storytelling was very old-time radio that brought visuals instead of just talking through all the visuals. So in that respect, I respect it, and I don't think it's overrated. But I can see if you get told straight and you have high expectations and you don't have that nostalgia in your background, it wouldn't live up to expectations. So I totally forgive the caller with that. And I had a second thing is I saw some fake news on the Facebook when I went out on break the other day. It said, which song by AC/DC for Christmas was about Donald Trump? And so I didn't click the link, but I looked at the comments. And the best comment was, hey, just say something's about Trump and you'll get AC/DC to trend on Spotify again. So don't know which song it was. I didn't go see. But finally, I wanted to talk about, we have 4 holiday events for Christmas. Start with my mother-in-law's 87th birthday. We'll be cooking and taking food over to her house. It'll be a grand meal of rib roast, creamy mashed potatoes, California medley, some green beans, some rolls. We'll have an au jus and a gravy, and we'll have a German chocolate cake. And it'll be absolutely amazing. We're getting together with extended family on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, where we'll just bring in sides and get to see those folks. And it'll be a great time. But by Monday, we'll be Christmas the hell out, but we'll still have loved everybody. And we hope that you enjoy your holiday and have a Merry Christmas, Frank.
Oh, thank you, Sentinel. Wonderful. First of all, that was that sounds like a great way to spend it. I love what's on the menu. God bless Molly Arty's 87-year-old mother. And that is just going to be great. Wonderful points about Christmas Story and how it actually became this holiday classic that it is. It actually is very much like It's a Wonderful Life, which we were talking about when we were all watching it together on Friday evening. Now, It's a Wonderful Life did so poorly in the box office. It did so poorly on a commercial level that it slipped into the public domain easier. And it became Christmas broadcast filler on television sets across the country because it was free. And, sometimes that's all you need. There's something, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it was just widely, you think about how many things would be a classic if it was just exposed. I think about that all the time. I always think about how can I expose myself to 10 million people? How can I just flash 10 million people and get their attention? But, things just, I don't know. The show's got to slip into the public domain somehow. Hopefully I'm alive. That would be great. Hopefully I'm a part of that whole thing. But one day there's got to be a way that say, hey, come hang out with us. I know that this is that we can pull those kind of numbers, no doubt. As far as It's a Wonderful Life goes, and then Christmas Story, they share that background. They share that background, no doubt. And I love it. I love it. No, you can't hype anything up to somebody. You can't hype up music, an album. You can't hype up a show, whatever the hell it is, a movie. You sit down, you realize, oh man, this isn't hitting. No, you screw that up. Just put something on or don't. So that goes against a lot of people. All right, what else do I have? There's something else. Wait. Oh, okay. Listen to this. And then I'll play a little bit of the Nicki Minaj thing toward the end. Listen to this. And then I'll also read your super chats because I want you guys to call in on this. Speaking of where you're going to be on Christmas, I got into a group chat. I was in a group chat with my parents, my brother, Lauren, a couple other people, and I was late to the party, so I'm catching up, and I'm looking at all this back and forth about where we're going to be spending Christmas Eve or we're going to spend Christmas Day, and usually Christmas Eve we're at my father-in-law's. We're there for dinner. We do our gift exchange, and then we come and meet up with my family at my father's at the tail end of their get-together, where we'll just have some coffee and we'll do a gift exchange over there. But we had already eaten, and that's just what it is. The next day on Christmas, how it's been the last 5, 6, however long, we would host it. Lauren and I would host the dinner, and everybody would come over. And actually, Christmas, aside from Christmas morning, where we go to Lauren's side of the family as well, to hang out with my sisters-in-law and all of them, it's actually a pretty do-nothing day. We just hang around, if there's a football game on or play a little video games or just chill. I'll do a coffee stream with a cigar on the back porch. Just enjoy the day. And because there's nothing to do until dinner. Well, it's not the case this year. Not the case this year. And you have to listen to this. I had to take the screenshots of the texts so I can read them to you. Here is me. I say, hey, I'm just catching up with all these text messages. I'm wondering why we are going to do... let me just tell you what the deal is. It seemed like this year is different because now on Christmas Eve, we're going to be at my father's house for dinner. I won't be there for the dinner, but we're there for dessert. And then on Christmas Day, we're going to be at my father's house again for a early dinner around 3 or 4, which we're talking about people who usually don't have dinner on a normal night until about 7:38. Around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and then we go back to my place to have dessert and presents. All the same people who are going to be at the 4 o'clock dinner are going to leave that house and all travel 1 mile down the road to have dessert. It's just, I was like, what's happening? What's happening? So I said, hey, I'm trying to be diplomatic at first. I'm still trying to be diplomatic. I'm just catching up with all these text messages. I'm wondering why we're going to do dinner for Christmas night at Dad's and then pack up to go to our place for dessert there. Why don't we just do Christmas Eve at Dad's and Christmas night in totality at our place, which is the usual, so that there needs to be less of a need to relocate between servings. That was my little dig. Because that's exactly what we're doing. We're picking up and we're relocating in the middle of servings. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? It almost seems like instead of going, it used to be a few years ago, we had a couple more stops to make, then things started getting consolidated, and you go to different places to visit people who are in different places. Now I feel like we're visiting houses, like we're going to go not visit my father, we're visiting the house. Like if we're not there, the house will feel sad. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in that house is going to leave together to go down the street for coffee. It makes no fucking sense. And It's not registering. Listen to this. My father says, we were going to do afternoon on Christmas Day over here, his house, and then go to your house for the nighttime, like last year. I said, okay, so then we're having like a lunch. We're having a lunch. Okay, so then we should just get like a cold cut tray or something like that. We can make sandwiches and stuff, sandwiches and cookies on Christmas afternoon for a Christmas lunch. That sounds fine. That sounds fine to me. And then my mom says, I don't think he's talking about lunch, more like dinner around 4 o'clock. I said, all right. Then my father texts, yes, not cold cuts. And I said, so we're doing dinner at 3 o'clock and then we're doing dinner at 6 o'clock because we're used to hosting dinner and dessert. So are we having 2 dinners? I don't get it. Then my mom says, stop being a ball buster. What? What are you talking about? I'm not busting balls. She put the crying from laughter face. Stop being a ball buster. Dinner is at 4-ish. This is the most obscenely early dinner I've ever heard of. We're going to eat dinner. We're going to have dessert eventually. And then I'm going to have dinner again after dessert. Jay Goulinell is probably like, 4 o'clock dinner sounds fine to me. Well, guess what, Jay? I don't give a shit. And so she said, stop being a ball buster. I said, I'm breathtaking at this point. I said, I'm not busting balls. I don't understand the timeline of events or the dinner. The dinner, the one and only dinner being at 4. Is the one and only dinner being at 4? And then my mom says, yes, like usual. No, it's not like usual. This is so weird. Yes, like usual. We'll eat dinner early evening or late afternoon, however you want to look at it. And then my father says, we can make it simple Christmas Day as far as menu and then have a nice spread of desserts at your house. And I just put the thumbs up and I backed away from the chat before I went nuts. I just gave the thumbs up and I backed away from the chat before I went nuts. So that's it. We're going to have dinner at 4 o'clock and then we're all going to relocate to our place so that we can have a nice spread of desserts. And fine, it'll be fine. The most important thing are the people. I would just rather keep all the people in one place if we can. It's just it's needless motion. So you can give up. Everybody's speechless. Good. It sounds like you lost, Frank. Yes. No, I gave up. I'm not fighting this one. I'm not even getting through to people. And obviously, I have forgotten how the last 6 or 7 years have been going. When my mom said "as usual," I was like, "What? What planet am I on?" Well, anyway, so does anybody out there have anything like that going on with them right now? I would love for you to call in and say, Frank, we have a Christmas travel itinerary that makes no sense. Call in if you have anything, any aspect of your Christmas Eve or Christmas Day appearance schedule that makes no sense, that has been complicated for no reason whatsoever. With the premise being that family is wonderful and it's going to be great to see them all. But this is crazy. I want to hear, if you have that, please call in. It'll make me feel a lot better. A lot better about the craziness that I'm thinking about. You know? I don't know. There's just so much. So much happening. Let's take a call. 413, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Frank. It's Grady from Massachusetts,
Grady.
a.k.a. Awakened Boomer. How you doing?
Great to hear from you, my friend. How are you feeling tonight?
Pretty good. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So much stuff in your show tonight, but I just want to say it sounds like you're having a Christmas Mandela effect. with your memories and your mom's memories and everything.
Yeah, it's something like that. I guess this is it. This is like my Captain Crunch box or something like that. Have I really have I really spent the last 6 years, switching houses between a late lunch? I guess we'll call it Lupper. It's like a Lupper at 4:00, and then this is not how I spent the last half decade. No.
Which reminds me, I was going through some old books. I have a bunch of Christmas books. I have 2 copies of Bernstein Bears with your old spelling.
Yes.
So I know that's real.
You wait. You have actually a physical book that proves that there was an old spelling?
Yes, I have 2 of them.
Okay, you got to send it to me. You got to send it to me because all I know now, especially since Aurora watches all the old cartoons, is Berenstain. So I got to see the Stein.
I will send you pictures.
Okay, great.
And watch for email. Watch the internet change it on the way. You'll have to let me know if it comes through as Bernstein.
Oh, you're going to send it right now? You can send it tomorrow. There's no rush.
No, I'll send it tomorrow.
Okay.
You have to let me know if it comes through correctly.
Yeah, please. I would love to bring that up on the show tomorrow night. There's people in the chat room. I see Nikki in the chat room already says, take a picture, please. We want to see it. So, send it on over.
Okay. Try to do that tomorrow.
All righty.
Okay, well, anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, you and the family.
Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Hope Aurora feels better.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much. I'll give you guys all the update tomorrow, and thanks again for everything, Grady.
Sure thing. Take care now.
Take care. Okay, let's see here. Remember, everybody, the super chats for tonight and tomorrow. For tomorrow, I'm going to make sure that I have everything. We've been collecting them since Thursday. So there's Thursday, there's weekend super chats, and then there's tonight. They all go for the last of the Black Wheelchair Santa, the Cuomo Santa. I don't know if he's gay, but in your household, who knows? Could be. And then there is music from me from 2017. Chris Ann Hall's Non-Compliant. An ounce of ever-appreciating silver, which is almost at $70 an ounce right now. You're going to get a lump of silver. And you're also going to get a full bag of Signals and a full bag of Dulce. And who knows what I add to it tomorrow. I'm going to add something, though. Let's take a call. 262, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the Christmas traditions that I've never understood is going to a theater for a movie on Christmas Day.
Well, is that do you know people who are Christian that do that?
My in-laws, yes.
Okay. Because I know people who are Jewish and other people who don't practice anything, and the day means nothing to them, and they'll do things like they'll go to a movie theater or something else like that. But me personally, I couldn't, unless I was all alone. I couldn't go to a theater. I'd rather just be in a room with people and having random conversations.
Amen to that. And like I said, it's my in-laws, so that's something I'm pretty privileged to engage in almost every year.
You know what? Wait a second. Hold on a second. When did that Jack Black? It was the Jack Black King Kong release date. I got to see something here.
A while ago.
December 5th, 2005. I am pretty sure. I don't know why I think that this is real. I think we may have all gone out to see the Jack Black King Kong movie in 2000 for the Peter Jackson one on Christmas night, 2005. I think it might have been like when everything was over. Everyone was like, "Hey, you want to go see him? You want to go see King?" I don't know why I think that happened now.
Well, in my experience, that's something that their family had done forever and ever. They had a nice Christmas, lunch or whatever, and then at the end of the day, towards the end of the night, go to the movie.
Well,
and my background, that's completely antithetical because did a lot of family events, and then would come home and do our events at home. So it was just so foreign to me. Took me a while to get over it, but yeah.
Well, you know what?
Avatar this time.
It's one of those, and thanks for the call. That's an interesting one right there. I guess if it's your tradition, you can do whatever you want. It could be a matinee if you wanted to, but I can see that. Maybe it's something that started out as what two people did, couples, when they used to be younger and they didn't have kids or whatever the hell. I can see there being a little bit of a backstory to that tradition where you sneak away and you go see a movie on a Christmas, especially if you know that there's not going to be a lot of people in the theater. You have it all to yourself. What the hell's playing at the Alamo on Christmas night? I wonder if it's open. Let's see. Tomorrow. No, Christmas Eve. Christmas Day. All right, let's see here. Anaconda. You can go see Anaconda. Dinner a movie, Anaconda. There's a new one with Paul Rudd. What the hell? There's a new Anaconda out. They remade it. You can go see the SpongeBob SquarePants movie at 6:30 p.m. Avatar: Fire and Ash. This is another. How many avatars are out right now? Is this a third Avatar? Didn't a second one come out not too long ago? You can go see that at 7 o'clock. Let me see how many people are in that theater. Oh, 7 o'clock is almost all sold out. What about the 2:30? There's still plenty of room at the 2:30 for the Avatar. Let's see here. Marty Supreme. I have no clue what that is. And then Zootopia 2. Tried to take Aurora to see Zootopia twice, and she got sick both times. The hell's going on? Anyway, that's all. Oh, wait, there's no results on Christmas. Oh, there is results on whatever. I guess you can't completely close down. It's not like it used to be. It's a whole bunch of people who just don't give a shit. You know? Anyhow, let's go into those super chats a little bit. I want to catch up. Okay. Captain Wiggle says, all hail wheelchair Santa. Oh, I know he's going to be his own cult leader one day. Just hanging out over here for his last week in this studio. Jay Britz. What's it say? The Christmas comedy that I will always sit down and watch if I see it on. Scrooged with Bill Murray. He is such a dick. Why did that not play out loud? I don't know. Paul, Wart Guy, says, have a happy and healthy Christmas week, Frank and family and Franklies. Gina Harris says, in King's voice to caller Cloud 9. What the fuck? Bashing Elf, A Christmas Story, and Rudolph. I bet he likes Jingle All the Way. Lame. Gina from South Carolina. Yeah, Jingle All the Way. That's a good one. I love it. Let me see here. Ashley Snow says 3 times a charm. Quite frankly, Claus. Merry Christmas. I hope. Hey, all the best to you. Shan says Merry Christmas, everyone. Stove and Car Guys New England. We got you guys before hitting us up. Joe Martinez, thank you. Jay Britz, again, I want the African American physical. Those were the first ones that came in. Ashley Snow said again, whiter, frankly, Claus. Oh, Ashley's got 3 in there. She wants triple the chances. And then the Pains from Indiana says, what's up, Frank? Merry Christmas to you and yours from the Pains. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to Jeannie Yankee fan for throwing down as well. What's going on Rumble? We've got a few people there hanging out on Rumble. We're doing well. Man, this is a good night. Just talking to people. I love when you guys call in. That's a good one. I guess I was in the mood. I guess I have the attractive energy to get some people to pick up the phone these days. Let's see. Grandma Grateful says, I need to try that protein powder. Yeah, well, it's more than just a protein powder. This is a meal replacement shake. Plenty of protein, but it is all because of the way it's sourced. I mean, it's great. I add it to my protein powder, and I feel satiated so much longer. Awakened Boomer, Silver, Black Wheelchair Santa, Signals, oh my. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you, Grady. One Patriotic Girl says, happy holidays to Frank and family and all the Franklies. Jay Semo says, I've been catching up on last week's shows. They were excellent. You're the best. Thank you, Jay. Duke Nukem says, hope you're good, dude. Merry Christmas. Hammer smash face. I'll try to call in soon. Love the after hours drumming. There's some good drumming. We had a good time on the drum. When I got home from drumming the other day, Thursday night, man, I felt like I had a problem. Thankfully, my neck held together. Captain Wiggle says, I hope you and the family have the most magical and Merry Christmas yet. I wish the same for all of you too. I really do. And then Two Dogs Mike D says, Frank, I think everyone wants to have a break to go home and take a dump before coming to your house. Blessings in disguise, unless you want them all dumping at your house. It's a Christmas miracle. How dare they? Maybe that's what it is. I just don't want to go to his house and have to take a shit. I've got to hold it off. Astro Sweat says, Frank, you are now a survivor of your own Mandela effect. I know. What happened here? We've always been doing this, Frank. As usual. Pablo Escobar says, someone forgot to tell Trump the moon is both fake and also gay. How are you going to put nukes? Well, nukes are gay. Fake and gay. If you know the lore, then you know that nukes are fake. It would make sense that you could put fake nukes on the fake moon. Fake and gay moon. Let's take a call. Hello, how are you?
Hey, Frank, how's it going? Chris in South Dakota.
Nice.
And I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. And, you know, one thing I love about your show, it's always the best around Christmas time because, you know, it's about the spirit of togetherness and bringing people together. And I think that's one thing that they don't want. You know, they try to keep us apart during that whole fiasco a few years back. And America was created by people who were willing to come together, have a conversation in a good faith spirit. And I think that's what you live that example. And that's what I think your show is all about. So I think that's just a great example to set. And I think it's in the spirit of the season and it's something we can all, you know, follow your footsteps in. So I just want to call and say, wish you a Merry Christmas and the whole Frankly family out there too. So
well, you know, I put myself out here every night for this year now, 20 years coming up. In February, it'll be 20 years I've been doing this in one form or another. And I'll tell you, it is really all about, hey, I'm putting something out there. I got some thoughts. I got a theme. I got a story I want to tell. I want a little bit of history I want to do. I think this is cozy. I think this is cool. I think it's spooky. Whatever the hell it is, it's all meant to stimulate the audience into interacting in some way, into calling in, into sharing a story, into, you know, I don't know, sharing a little bit of information that can blow all of our minds. Whatever the hell it is, we travel that road, and we touch on so many things, and it touches every spot on the emotional spectrum and the intellectual spectrum. Sometimes we have just straight up stupid nights. Other times we'll go deep, so dense that it's one of those episodes you have to listen to 2 or 3 times before it really starts sinking in what was shared. And it's really just all about me rolling the dice, putting a lot of time into writing the shows and organizing them, promoting them in hopes that the audience throws it right back at me. Because if you throw it back at me, that is a recipe for just some really awesome, spontaneous, great moments. And it also is the recipe for wonderful organic growth. And that's all I really care about. And you call in right now. That's just really it. And I hope that you do more of that in the new year. So thank you, sir.
Well, you do a great job of it. And, you know, to me, there's nothing more American than that. And America was created by people who came together, you know, in the taverns over a drink, back in the Enlightenment in England. You know, they get together in the coffee shops and talk with one another. And, you know, they got together and they had those conversations. And I think that you're carrying on that tradition. So I just wanted to say thank you. And again, Merry Christmas. I'm sure the family outing is going to be a great time. So I hope you have a lot of fun.
I will.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you so much. I will. I'll definitely get you guys up to date on that. Remember, on Christmas Eve, I'll be going live from my father's house on Instagram, because I promised some people that I would do a very slow walkthrough of the Christmas village he has set up there, and maybe he can give a little bit of a play-by-play on what's what. So keep your IG notifications on. So maybe I'll replay the Saturday night show on Christmas night, so I don't distract away from any of that. That's what I hope for, everybody. Throw down with me in 2026. Call in. Share it with somebody. That's really where the rubber is going to meet the road, outside of how I'm booking and how we cut the show up and how we just cast the net with all the clips out there and all that stuff. You've really helped turn this thing around, at least on a metrics level. This time next year, we're going to be in I think a pretty interesting position if we're just able to build on this. You know what? Speaking of, I'm going to get to the rest of the super chats in a little bit, but speaking of the moon, space, and nukes, I want to play something for you. I want to play, where the hell is it? Here we go. I'm going to play a Christmas call that we got. This is from 2019. Let's take a call from, this is from 2019. This is the Christmas call that we received during the family Christmas special. There's Lauren. Just a couple of weeks before little Aurora was growing. I think. I'd have to imagine. But this is 2019, I'm pretty sure. And we get a call from a good friend of ours who's no longer with us, Albert. And I want to play Albert's Christmas call. And just want to just continuing remembering all the friends we have out there that are no longer with us, because you do something like this for so long, you'll naturally lose people along the way. A lot of them, Gadget to Albert, Nina, who I've lost track with, and I'm sorry to say I can only assume the worst based on what she told us all. And we got to put Captain Liberty. I have his night before Christmas. We got to play sometime soon as well. But take a listen to this. A little bit of space, a little bit of flat Earth, a little bit of Christmas, and enjoy this for a couple of minutes. Let's take a call from Albert. Albert, what do you want to say to the fans? I know before we go any further, I know that the audio and the video is not synced. For some reason, the dubbing is off at first, but I think it slowly syncs itself again. So just listen and don't get too crazy with the visuals.
A couple of things.
Okay.
The first one is I agree with Poopy, because Empress and I were watching, and Bill looks like he's being held hostage.
Bill looks like he's being held hostage, they say. They do think so. Okay. So there you go.
And secondly, I wanted to ask your mother, which Phantom did she think sang the best? Because she's wearing the Phantom shirt.
Okay, so Mom, because you don't have the headphones on like I told you to do.
I'm sorry, because I was okay.
Okay, he wants to know which Phantom do you think sang the best? He sees your Phantom shirt on right now. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, the reason why it's on Broadway this long is because there are so many Phantoms over the last 30 plus years.
I'm just listening.
Michael Crawford.
Michael Crawford.
And we did see it a few times after that with different Phantoms, but I couldn't even tell you who they are. I couldn't tell you who's on it now. But Michael Crawford.
Well, that's totally cool. The guy's name's Michael Crawford. I'm going to look it up.
The original.
I've listened to a bunch of. I've listened. Oh, the original. Okay, well.
Yep.
I've listened to a lot of them, but I still like the guy in the movie. I would have never even watched that unless my wife held me down and said, and then I was like, wow, that's
and I thought
cool.
The guy in the movie, they should have gotten a Broadway actor because his voice wasn't really up to par. That Phantom should be able to sing. Don't you agree, Aunt?
It's interesting that although there are some people that like the movie better than the actual musical on Broadway, I personally like the musical on Broadway, but there's some people that can't stand the musical on Broadway. So it's a very interesting thing. It's been there all those years, so it's got to be pleasing somebody. And Sarah Brightman, who was the original Christine, without question, was
Those
the
high
best
notes
Christine.
are incredible.
Unbelievable.
Sarah Brighton?
Sarah Brightman.
Brightman. All right, Albert, anything else, my friend?
And I wanted to tell your dad, dude, chill out about the the terrible thing you had. Frank played a video the other night, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Talking about Oh Holy Night.
And once Anthony's ego got dropped down, it's like because he kept laughing, he kept having the things. But once he got in the zone, it's like almost like, oh God, I'm gonna do this, and it was like great. But once that dropped down, that was beautiful, man.
Thank you so much,
Lauren.
Yes.
Yeah, she's here.
You always look a little tense when you're coming on too. Not quite like Bill, okay? Don't look like you're being positive. But it's nice to watch you fidget with your ring and stuff like that. So, anyways, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Albert.
Bye-bye.
It's great. And next time Albert comes on, I would like for him to try to explain to my mother and father that the Earth is actually flat.
I'd love to hear that.
Let me ask you guys.
And it would be nice to know.
If I can, let me actually ask you about that, because we've had these conversations on this show a lot in the last couple of years. If you guys were to learn that this entire time the Earth has been flat, how would that change your life? If at all.
To tell you the truth, as long as I'm able to get my beach pass for Oakland Beach and time, I don't care.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Nobody has ever fallen off.
My life's
in all
gone
these
too
years.
far. Where do the pictures come from?
In
The
all
balls, the balls of pictures.
There might
that
be
they
flat balls. There might be flat balls.
Could be flat balls.
Yeah.
But the thing is, over all this time, somebody would have had to fall off.
And
nobody did.
Didn't somebody just one night they got so restless that they would have walked a little bit farther than they normally do and end up in Australia?
Who knows? Like I said, I don't know. One night we could go through the physics of it all. I'm not the best salesman for it, but Albert is, and I love him. Thank you guys out there. Yeah. A good night. We had so many of those good nights. So many. Man, oh man. I don't know. Let's see here. B-Tech Vendetta says, I had to drop a deuce in the chat to get the raffle. The Black Wheelchair Santa would definitely be a winner for my work's unique Christmas tree ornament contest. I will say this. I will be hunting for these things. I'm not going to be paying $7,000 for them. But if I can find a good deal on original 2013 Black Santas, I mean, are they even out there still? Let me see here. Target Wheelchair Santas. Let me see. Are they still out there? Wheelchair Santa and Christmas Target. No. I'm on Target's website right now. Plenty of Black Santas, but none in wheelchairs. I think they know that. I think they know that the love people have for them is based in something other than reverence to the wheelchair. I'll find maybe one day. Who knows? One day it'll pop up again. All right, Awakened Boomer says, deepest apologies. If I had it backwards, I thought Berenstain was the old way. No, Berenstain is the way it is now. People say that it used to be Berenstein Bears. Berenstain is the way I know it. Because my biggest time with the brand has only been about with what Aurora likes. Anyway, there you go. Dana the Powerful says, I'm late. Merry Christmas. Okay, you can call in 914-200-0269. We still have a few minutes left, 14 minutes left. And then we're going to watch this week, on the flip side, we're going to do one thing. We're going to watch this year's collaboration between my father and Anthony. Maybe we watch it again tomorrow when Jay's in, because Jay wanted to watch Oh Holy Night. So Jay, I'll save it because we got to watch that together. But yeah, there we go. Amanda says, I got my badass ornament, and all I need is a disabled black wheelchair Santa to complete my tree. So happy to hear that the ornaments are starting to reach everybody before Christmas. We timed it at the last possible second because we had to do some shipping tests to make sure that they didn't get crushed. I'm so happy people are getting it. That means tomorrow I have to send out a lot of videograms. Thank God it is a Jay Gulanello show tomorrow night, because I'm going to need the time. Less time writing. Let's see here. Let's take a call. Neil, you're on the air.
Hey, Frank, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. What's up with you?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, I was just calling to let you know that I'm listening to your show while I try and build this crazy Barbie tower that I bought my daughters for Christmas. It's like 1,000 pieces, so wish me the best of luck, please.
Oh, you know what? When it's all done, can you send me a picture?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Because I put together a Barbie castle for Aurora, I think 2 years ago, and it didn't have 1,000 pieces, but it still came out to about 3.5 feet tall, and it's pretty extensive with all the decals and stuff.
I mean, I'm way exaggerating. It's like 75 plus, but still.
I get it. No, I get it.
It's fucking big, and there's a bunch of fucking pieces, dude.
I'd like to see it. I want to see if we have the same one, because I had to put that together a couple of Christmases ago, and Aurora likes it. I've played with her with that quite a bit, and it's been a lot of fun. So the end result is going to be all worth the effort. I promise you.
Oh, for sure, man. That's why I'm doing it. I appreciate it, bro.
All right. Well, it's great to hear from you, man. Call in again.
Yeah. You too, buddy. Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. I like hearing everybody getting prepared. I do. Happy anniversary, Quite Frankly, and hello, Franklies. That's Sean O'Vision over on Twitch. Still can't believe I'm getting Twitch bits this year, because I thought that Twitch was just out of my life, but big changes, and part of those changes this year, copyright-free show. Guys have been great. Miss Maniac says, love, hugs, and persevere, always. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you. All right, over on, let me see, the lines are open. We still got people calling in. 585, go ahead.
Hey, Frank, I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Who can I wish back?
This is Craig. This is Craig in Rochester, New York.
Oh, Craig, it's been a while, huh?
It has been a while.
Have you been in good health?
I am in very good health. I am retired. I have my grandbabies.
Wonderful.
I do miss my parents this time of year. So it is great to see the bits of you and your parents. I like that. But life moves on.
It does.
And we're just going to have a good Christmas. And everybody's all pissed off up here in Rochester because we had snow all through December, and now it's all melting, and everybody's so sad. I'm not sad, but
we had about 4 or 5 inches of it that would have made for great Christmas decorations, and it was erased in one very rainy 50-degree plus day last week. And now here we are again with just pretty cold temperatures. Like I said before, dry, windy, pretty damn cold, but no snow, no atmosphere. They're just gusty nights. And it's just all barren out there. I wish we can get a little bit of a dusting.
Yeah, well, I just hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks, man.
With your wife and your girl. And
all the best to you and the grandchildren.
The holidays, man.
Yeah, man, and hold the grandchildren close. And thank you for the call. I hope to get more of this in the new year.
All right, take care, buddy.
Take care. There we go. There's our friend from Rochester. snowless Rochester. Okay. Oh, well, you know what? So that I don't have to take care of it, I'm going to look at the chat room poll. And while we do that, take a listen to this. Erika Kirk brings on Nicki Minaj, who is now, I guess, a MAGA personality, or at least is joining the bandwagon. Take a listen to this.
For young men. And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
so she called J.D. an assassin, and it kind of made it a awkward moment. And then there's like this exchange. Listen, I look at this stage, like look at this screenshot right here. It has the same energy of American Idol. Like just the use of neon and all that stuff. I am just not interested. I could never have given 5 minutes to this. And then that she's, I mean, it was a little like if you use the word assassin, all of a sudden you realize what you're doing, and then all of a sudden you're standing there in front of Erika Kirk, and I don't know, it gets a little weird.
Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine.
Wait, what did Erika mean right there? What did she mean? Like, I don't know what that meant. Did she mean that? What did that mean? Did she think that Nicki Minaj had made a comment about? I don't know. Because she obviously just used the word, and it's just the word. It's the inference of assassination, and then of course there's that thing that is hanging over the entire event. So it wasn't like I've heard everything under the sun. That's more so like I'm sure Erika has seen at least some of the theories that have been put out there. So it's not, that was awkward too. Like everything about this is weird. But then again, this is what we set ourselves up for. And she goes on to say that boys be boys again.
Beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord. And words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart.
I can't do this shit. Fast forward. Anyway, I like that she's taking a little bit more of a, hey, listen, boys be boys kind of a thing. It's a gender nod. We're going to be doing more of that tomorrow if we have any time. It's either then or it'll be the week after on either the 29th or the 30th with Jay. Because I just I think that it goes hand in hand with what has just been put out there about boys, especially white guys, being completely excluded from the corporate world, cut out of everything. And here's another thing here too. I mean, there's obviously an overture that's being made to cut boys away from their own manhood by trying to turn them into more feminine creatures. There's that. So she's talking about that whole thing there too. I guess we're just going to have to set that up for some other time. I'm not going to crack open that can of worms. We had a better night tonight than I thought we were going to do, even with the topics I had chosen. Tonight became exactly what it needed to be, which is great. Scott Johnson says, thanks for the great shows night after night. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Best wishes to Quite Frankly and the Franklies in 2026. Thank you, sir. I saw Jake Paul got his his jaw mashed to bits. Listen, the one thing I'll never do is like make fun of somebody for getting in a situation, like putting themselves out there like that, training, going out there, winning, losing, debating whether or not the wins are legitimate. If this loss was legitimate, his face is messed up, and I give them all the credit in the world, even just getting in the ring. And I saw Andrew Tate got beat up too. So big weekend for fights, and holy shit. We'll see what happens tomorrow, though. What the hell else was there? There was one other thing I wanted to say, and now it's like escaping me. But I guess, you know what? One last thing before we leave, everybody. One more roll call. And you know what? This time, use all the emojis you can. Make it nice and vibrant, especially if you are a Quite Frankly channel member. I have put special emojis in there for you guys. I want to see the channel members going nuts with those they're exclusive. I uploaded them for you. So if you are a channel member on YouTube, go for it. But big send off. Let everybody know where you're from, and let's just fluff up that chat room before we go. Thank you. All the links and all the likes. Here we go. I want to make sure we got this in here. The Total Clown Show, 52%. 31% is good for Nicki Minaj. Welcome aboard. And that's where it ends tonight. Ultimately, I like redemption arcs, and I want people bettering themselves. And if they see a disaster coming, I always root for them to say, "Hey, gotta change course. I'm not going to go right into this wall." So, in that respect, have at it. But there you go. I'm going to spend some other time reading books about out-of-body experiences and all that shit. Thank you, guys and gals. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Head on over to the flip side. We're going to watch the new collaboration between my father and my brother, and that'll be a short flip side tonight because I have to go do some last-minute things, and that's all. So, one last thing. I have uploaded across all of the sponsor for Patreon, Subscribe Star, the YouTube members, and the members only section on quitefrankly.tv. Wherever you sponsor, go and check it out because I uploaded a very special eggnog recipe. Okay, this is a special recipe from our friend Gypsy's family. This is our favorite eggnog ever. It is so incredible. You got to eat it with a spoon. And the best thing is that, where we did the George Washington eggnog a couple of years ago, this one you can whip up right there, serve immediately. It doesn't need to sit in a refrigerator for 3 to 5 days. It is so good. It's so easy to make, and I put it all out there so you guys have a couple of days to get all the ingredients together. Go check the members only sections. Enjoy, become a sponsor, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. I'll read all those gold pills on the other end too, because I got to get going. See you soon. Click the link that I put into the chat room and join us for a few more minutes.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Quite Frankly is filmed before a live studio audience, and now I just want to bring you all along for a ride to the flip side. Check it out. I put it into the D Live, into the Twitch, into the YouTube. I'm putting it into the Rumble. You guys are already on the flip side. You don't need the link. Get on over, and let's spend a couple more minutes together as we prepare for tomorrow, the last show before Christmas. Thank you, one and all, for everything. Good night.